Alrighty, what I have in my hands here, this is what's called a B9. It's an exterior crown trim piece. Just has a simple OG shape on it. That's the standard OG that's everywhere. And this is a piece of 5/4 by 4. 5/4 meaning it's a net inch thick by 3.5. For anyone who doesn't know the system, you know, a 2x4 isn't really 2x4, it's 1.5 by 3.5. Same thing with 5/4. 5/4 would be 1.25 inch, but of course in bizarre carpentry lingo, that's what you need if you want an inch. So the point of this is that these are two pieces of trim that are going to go, they're going to go with the rake, and the rake is the sloped part of the roof, and they terminate into these corbel blocks. Now, let's go over here. I'll show you what we're trying to correct. Whoever did this roof before, they did just a shit job. And what they have is the original, let's see if you can see this over here. Here's the original crown molding, but it's obscured by this metal flashing that it was just put on in a crappy, shoddy way. And when you take a step back and you look at the whole house, when you look at all of the detail at the rake, it just looks like this crappy piece of sheet metal wrapped over. Even worse, for the real detail spots, you know, hang on, let's go over there and look at it. You know, there's so many spots where they didn't even bring the metal down properly, and there's just a void. That's just a hole into the attic. It's a piece of crap. I can't even believe people did it so badly. You know, and that everywhere. The place is a disaster. So just for example, right here, I can just give you an example of what the idea here is. Here's just a little dormer. Basically, you know, it just represents, let me unzoom that. It just represents the rake detail in miniature scale. Here's our corbel block. First thing that's going to happen is we'll put our, I'm going to hold this with my foot. We'll put our 5/4 stock in. Something like that. Okay. Then we'll put our B9 in. These flush out nicely so that when we re-roof, the new metal, well, at this void right here, we'll fill that with some sort of inexpensive piece of wood. And the new metal will come out and hook over, so that when you look up at the whole building, you'll see this nice decorative OG. It's nice and big and more in scale with the building. And the metal, instead of just noticing the metal will just magically blend in with the top edge of this. You won't even see the metal. All you'll see is the wood trim. And we'll get back to a building that looks like it has some architectural detail to it, rather than a building that's just a piece of junk. Here's the original piece of roof crown. And like I said, the problem with this is the metal just wraps completely over it, and it hides the whole detail. Hides the point of what, like one of the few aesthetic features of this house is obscured by a bad roofing job. Anyway, I'd like to move all of these vents to the other side as well, but that might be a monumental task. All right, hanging out on the scaffold. How's this look? About 80 feet up. It's pretty fun. Not 80 feet, 50. All right, see you later.